Welcome back. Well, it has been a busy day at Toronto City Hall. It's because it's the first day that mayoral hopefuls can officially sign up for the city's top job. Nominations for the upcoming by-election, they opened at 8:30 this morning at City Hall. And to be eligible to run, a person must file a nomination paper in person, give proof of a Toronto address, pay a $200 filing fee, and provide at least 25 endorsements of their nomination from eligible voters. Potential candidates have until May 12th to sign up. Former Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders registered for the race this morning. He says public safety, housing, and affordability are his key concerns for the city.
We're moving in the wrong direction. If we're going to get this right, we have to be safe. If we're not safe, we're not healthy. If we're not healthy, we're not productive. We're not vibrant. This is critical. But on top of that, housing, especially affordable housing, especially when we talk about supportive housing, so key, so critical. That has to move forward. We have to build. It is essential, or else we're going to fail. And then, of course, affordability. It's on everyone's table. How is City Hall spending its money? This is key and critical, because for every dollar that we're spending not being effective, we're taking that money off your table.
Former Deputy Mayor Bailao officially registered to run for mayor this morning. The former city councillor confirmed that she would be running for mayor more than 2 weeks ago and has already revealed some key parts of her platform, which includes restoring confidence in the TTC.
We really need to zero in on the services. So you need somebody that has the experience inside City Hall, that has the relationships to work, to bring the plan that we're going to get through the election, to work with city councillors, to make sure that we get the city moving, to make sure that it has the relationships with the other levels of government, to make sure that we get those funds that the city needs to ensure sustainable, predictable sources of fund for the city.
City Councillor Bradford made his mayoral bid official by registering at City Hall. There he is with his family, arriving at the city clerk's office just before 9 o'clock this morning. He was elected city councillor for Beaches East York back in 2018. He says there's too much talk at City Hall and not enough action.
This is a new chapter for Toronto. This is about generational change, and this is about a strong mayor of action who is going to get things done for Torontonians. It's time for less talk and more action. I think council gets seized with endless debates that last many, many days, and you talk to folks in Scarborough or North York or Etobicoke, and they're not seeing real results. The time for that is over. This is a new chapter for Toronto, generational leadership, someone with the energy and the focus to drive things forward, and someone who's not afraid to make a decision.
Lawyer Rocco Achampong is joining the mayoral race as well, and he tells CP24 Breakfast that he would address the city's financial crunch by killing former Mayor John Tory's Smart Track transit project.
Smart Track is a 2014 relic that went from 22 stops, $8 billion to 5 stops, and now we're asking for $234 million to build the Bloor-Lansdowne GO station. That's not our jurisdiction, and I think the city gets into trouble, and we get into trouble, when we wade into areas where we should not be spending.
City Councillor Josh Matlow officially registered today after announcing his intention to run. Matlow vowed to launch a City Works Fund. That's a property tax that would cost homeowners an average of $67 a year. He says that funding would be earmarked for services like public transit, public libraries, warming centers, and road and park maintenance. Matlow has served at City Hall since his election in 2010.
I'd respectfully suggest that the tactics used by former mayors didn't work. They weren't successful. In other words, the go along to get along approach with Doug Ford didn't achieve our goals. In fact, when David Miller left, Toronto had a surplus. We are now saddled with a $1.5 billion shortfall. We're facing a $46 billion budget pressure over the next decade. The reserves were raided. The cupboards are bare.
Former Toronto Sun columnist Anthony Furey also registered to run for mayor. Furey says he would bring a fresh perspective to City Hall, and he wants everyday people to be directing the city's agenda instead of lobbyists, big corporations, and fringe activists.
We're going to have some tough conversations about, are these services that residents are paying for, that taxpayers rely on? If not, if we're spending money on stuff that is not laser focused on what taxpayers expect their dollars to go to, and that is not laser focused on the services, core services that people are expecting, well, then we're going to have a conversation about that.